My name is Emeritus Professor Ron McCallum, and I'm an Emeritus Professor and former Dean of the University of Sydney Law School. Another hat which I wear is that I am a Vice Chair and the immediate past Chair of the United Nations Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. The primary function of this committee is to monitor, on a worldwide basis, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. I am a strong believer on inclusive education, for in my lifetime, as a child and youth, I've experienced both. From kindergarten to year 8, I went to special blind schools, and I learned a great deal during these 9.5 years. However, we were separate, and I think it lessened my capacities to socialise in the broader world. My last 4 years were at a boys' college, high school, and I found that I learned a lot of social skills, that I was able to fit in, and that I didn't appear to be an outsider. The United Nations Disabilities Convention, which our committee administers, is very clear about inclusive education. In Article 25, it makes it plain to governments that we persons with disabilities want and should be given the option of integrated inclusive education. It's not as simple as it sounds. Often parents and children think it's best to be in a separate school where there can be funding and special teachers, despite the limitations. But we persons with disabilities argue that what is needed to further inclusive education is to ensure that each girl or boy is given sufficient support to operate in an integrated school environment. If this support is given and the schools are open, then we persons with disabilities will receive a much broader and better education. After all, we play and work and partner with ordinary persons in the community. It's important that as persons with disabilities, we're educated with ordinary people as well. We are part of the community. We're citizens. We all have a place in the procession. Let me now speak a little bit to parents and children. Often there's a fear amongst parents that their son or daughter will become lost in inclusive integrated schooling. There's a sense to keep my daughter or son safe, and that a safe environment is a segregated school for that child's disability. Can I suggest that I understand those fears, being a parent myself? But can I say from my own lifetime experience and from my work in this field that it's so important that we take girls and boys out of segregated education and put them in integrated inclusive education. What we have to say to governments is, we don't want you just to build separate schools. What we want is for you to give our daughters and sons the support needed, the special teachers needed, so that they can be educated in integrated inclusive schools and learn to be part of the community from kindergarten right up to graduate school.